Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to today's PETinar. We will be starting in a matter of a few moments. We'll just wait for the software to cope with the number of people who are joining us. So the formal session will start in about 20 seconds or so, which gives me enough time to ask if you had a pleasant weekend. And I spent part of it playing golf and watching Ruari McCallion playing golf much better than I will ever manage, despite the fact that we have similar sounding names. I'm Ruari McCallion, in case you didn't know. I'm the editor-at-large of PETplanet Insider, and I'm delighted to be moderating this, the latest in the series of PETplanet Insider PETinars. And today is the first of two this week, in which we are looking forward to Drinktec 2022, which takes place in just 2 weeks' time at Messe München Trade Fair Centre in Munich. Now, it has been 5 years since the last Drinktec, and a lot has happened since then. Not just COVID and Ukraine, but a lot in the food and beverage packing industry too, from tether caps to single plastics directives and more besides. There's a lot to cover, so we will be diving straight in. Just before we do, a little housekeeping. There will be time for questions after the presentations, and we will take them all at once. Please use the message function or the chat function that should be visible on your screen, and please just use this to put questions to the presenters, not to say hi to your friends and colleagues, no matter how long it's been since you last saw them, or the whole thing will get bunged up. Now, please open your post with the name of the presenter you wish to put the question to. It'll make it a lot easier for me to keep track. Now, first up, we will have Petra Westphal and Alex Büchler in conversation about Drinktec 2022. And then we will have a presentation from Thomas Schmidt of Bericap, who will be followed by Mr. Arno Nomblo of Sumitomo Demag, and finally, our good friend Michael Fink of z-moulds. Petra Westphal is a long-standing senior manager with Messe München GmbH, the organisers of Drinktec. As well as Drinktec in Munich, Petra is responsible for Drinktec India, Messe München's joint venture in China Brew China Beverage in Shanghai, and Interfrost, the trade fair for forestry and forest technology. Petra has been project director of Drinktec for 8 years, so there's pretty much nothing she doesn't know about it. To interview Petra, we have Alex Büchler, a name that should be familiar to all friends of PETplanet Insider. Alex is managing director of Heidelberg Business Media, and PETplanet Insider is very much his baby. Alex, over to you and to Petra.
Yes, hello. Hello to everybody. Hello, Petra.
Hello, Alex.
Thank you for your time today. Rory told something about 8 years. I know that you mentioned the Drinktec for over 28 years, I think, and you developed it from the previous Interbrow on the old trade fair area, which focused on beer into worldwide meeting point, showcasing all facets of beverage technology. Is it right to call you Ms Drinktec?
Wow, first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to join this PETinar and for giving me time to welcome everyone for upcoming Drinktec. And what a nice questions to start with. Of course, it is a bit difficult to answer to that question myself, but as you have rightly said, I have been with Messe München over a little more than 29 years now. And from those 29 years, I have been responsible for Drinktec since almost 28 years. And so I may say that over these almost 3 decades, I surely had the opportunity to meet with the global community more than once during that time. So yeah, I think I may say that I'm rather renowned in this industry. Some actually call me Ms Drinktec. And I mean, the two of us, we have been knowing each other for more than 20 years now. And you know that one of my eager goals has always been whoever sees orange thinks of Drinktec. And I would say that even in this regard, I'm close to have reached my goal.
Okay. So you're right, you said it, we are working together since 20 years. We integrated the PET point into the Drinktec and expand your portfolio to all related PET. But in the last 20 years, there's not PET new. You also convinced wine, milk, craft brewers to join the trade fair. What can we expect this year to enhance the show?
Well, first of all, I don't know how it is about you, but I surely well remember the exciting and important moment when we signed our contract. Okay, audience, I'm not giving you any insights, but I will tell you when we signed the contract, we did have 1, 2, or maybe 3 beers.
Yeah.
And for me, that was a very special moment because I think this enhancement of Drinktec by the PET technology was not only very important and significant for the PET industry, but definitely for Drinktec, because with this enhancement that has surely also helped to develop Drinktec to the world-leading trade fair for any kind of beverage. So the PET point inclusion definitely helped to increase the participation, especially from the alcohol-free beverage industry. And apart from that, we have surely managed to also include, as you have rightly mentioned, the wine industry, liquid food industry. That's an industry we added to Drinktec in 2005. And by now, I may say that every 3rd visitor comes from the dairy and liquid food industry. Every 4th visitor from the wine industry. And of course, as the beer industry is the root of Drinktec, every 2nd visitor comes from the beer industry. And amongst those, every 5th visitor is a craft brewer. And as I have mentioned, the alcohol-free beverage industry, by now, visitors from the alcohol-free beverage industry make up the biggest share. So that's the latest information regarding the share of the various branches and what's going to be expected at upcoming Drinktec. First of all, our exhibitors will showcase all their exhibits not only alongside the value chain, but also according to or in relation to our 4 hot topics. And these are sustainable production and packaging, water and water treatment, digital solutions and digital transformation, and consumer demands and product development. And of course, apart from that, there's always something new at Drinktec. And this year, everyone may enjoy our newly created inspiration hubs. For the first time, we enable our exhibitors to showcase their latest best case studies on in relation to the 4 hot topics. For the first time, we have a startup area. That's something really exciting. So here we work together with the DICA, that's the Drink Innovation Campus, that is part of the Technical University in Munich. And it is the leading accelerating program for the beverage industry. And with them, we have created the first startup area at Drinktec. So here we can expect some really nice pitches and some really innovative ideas and prototypes.
Petra, thank you. You killed 3 questions of my interview. Anyhow.
I did. You know, I'm always fast, fast and efficient.
But I have 1 or 2 left. Let us discuss about the visitors. During the COVID pandemic, people learned all about online meetings. With the desire for face-to-face contact obtained, or will travel remain restricted for visitors, with only the most necessary meetings carried out in person? So what is your forecast for the show?
Okay. Well, first of all, everyone in the audience, hand on heart, how many memories do you have on any Zoom or Teams meeting? My memories are very little, but I surely remember almost, maybe not all, but almost all participations at trade fairs. Because visiting trade fairs, visiting with people, it is about these amazing business experiences. It is about experiencing with all your five senses. It is about emotions. It is about inspiration, and inspiration, that is my 100% belief, only comes when emotions are being part of the game. And this is also the feedback we have been receiving from our customers, no matter whether we talk about exhibitors or visitors, and of course also the press, that after the core period of the pandemic, people are really seeking for physical meetings. They are so tired of these technical or virtual meetings. They are perfect for things like we do right now, for giving some information to a broad audience. But when it really comes to explain something which is very complex, like the equipment and machines that are on display at Drinktec, for example, then there's nothing but a physical meeting. And of course, also when it's about informing someone about something confidential. I mean, when you do a Teams or Zoom meeting, you never know who else is in the room. So that also a plus point of physical meetings. And I am sure that especially this year, it will be fantastic family reunion. People will be so happy to enjoy this reunion and to see each other again. So I expect that everyone who is capable to travel will be there. We know, for example, that Coca-Cola, to give you some confidence, Coca-Cola this time is not only having a lounge organized by Coca-Cola Atlanta. For the first time, Coca-Cola Latam, so Latin America, has a lounge at Drinktec. For the first time, AB InBev is organizing an event at Drinktec. So also the big global concerns who may be even more concerned about a pandemic maybe than others, they can't wait for Drinktec to open its doors. So I'm really enthusiastic and can't wait for September 12th.
So time is running. I think last question. This year, also to the visitors and to the exhibitors, this year we see the lockdown of China, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Will we welcome exhibitors and visitors from these regions?
I'm really happy to say that despite the circumstances in China, we will welcome 22 exhibitors from China, 22, which I think is still a good number. Of course, we used to have more, but 22 are there. And even from the Ukraine, we will expect 3 exhibitors, which I think is also amazing, keeping in mind what they have to face right now. If we were allowed to, we would also have participants from Russia, but that is a different story and situation right now. So yes, there will be participants from Ukraine and China. I'm sure that there will also be visitors from Ukraine. I have heard that there might also be some visitors from China, despite the fact that it is really a challenge for them to get both outside of the country and back to the country.
Petra, thank you very much for your time.
Sure.
Have 2 orange rows for you, and
thank you so
meet
much.
you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And thank you again.
Thank you so much. And I invite everyone to go on drinktec.com. Make sure to download our app. There you will find the innovation guide that gives you a great idea of all the exhibitors who will have innovations on display. You can also search for solutions. And I dare to say that the world leading trade fair is back on the street. See you there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, thank you both very much, Alex and Petra. And I completely agree with you, Petra, about personal interaction being superior to online. I mean, okay, webinars and online interaction have their place, as we're showing today, but understanding body language, references, and so on is so valuable, and you get that face to face. And my apologies, Petra, for missing out the first 20 years of your experience. My excuse is you look too young. Anyway, I stand corrected. 28 years in charge of Drinktec, even more impressive than I realized. And now I'm delighted to introduce Thomas Schmidt, Group Marketing Director with Bericap, the global caps and closures company. Thomas is an industrial engineering graduate and was appointed to his current position in 2019 after holding a series of management positions in industries including packaging, FMCG, durable consumer goods, management consulting, and advertising. Thomas, please tell us what has been going on at Bericap and what we will be seeing on your stand at Drinktec.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. I hope my audio works well now. Maybe a bit a small thumbs up because we had some problem with the audio. Ruari, can you hear me? Yeah, you can. Okay, but I still don't have the button for taking over the presentation. So Heike, if you could please lead us through the presentation, or at least react on my please click next chart. So thanks for the introduction. Yeah, this year's Drinktec, and we're also very enthusiastic looking at this event and finally and seeing you all again there. And this year's focus again, but also with a very specific focus this year is on e-convenience, and we will present sustainable and user-friendly closures at this show across all categories. And Heike, if you could please click to the next slide. My introduction today, or my preview, is divided in 3 parts. It's a quick introduction to Bericap, then a selection of product highlights which we will present in Munich, and then of course the last indication, where will you find us? Next chart, please. To those who don't know Bericap, anything we do is around closures, and our claim is Bericap, the closure company. We are a global company with a global presence. We aim to be close to our customers. We have a worldwide network with 26 plants in 22 countries. Are active in 100 countries around the world with plants, offices, and agents. And it's really the target to be close to you, close to the brand owners all over the world. We are truly innovation-oriented. We have 4 R&D centers, and in-house manufacturing of our own injection molds, and we'll come to that a bit later. Very quality-driven. We have our group best practice standards, and of course corrective and actions and continuous improvement process in place. We are family-owned, founded in 1926, headquartered in Bugenheim, which is close to Mainz in Germany. Next chart, please. And that's an overview of our understanding of if you wish, like the closure process. So we do not only want to, or we are not the company only producing closures and supplying them, hopefully in time and in the right quality. We understand ourselves as if you wish, companions to and partners to our clients and customers. It starts with a client challenge. We listen to your challenges. We listen to the market, to the consumer's needs. Ideally, we find right solutions on these challenges with a product development, and raise those R&D centers which we have in place. We have our own mold making facility and an old factory in Hungary, which makes us actually independent from external mold makers, which is important. It ensures confidentiality at the very beginning of projects, of course. It also ensures that we produce identical products wherever you order products from us around the globe. And also when it comes to spare parts and maintenance, we also ensure that all parts are interchangeable. That makes us quick and independent again. And it comes to the application part. So we again understand ourselves as being close to the fillers, to the brand owners when it comes to the execution, when it really comes to the work and the expertise at the filling line to make the filling smooth and without problems and quick, of course. And when it comes to after sales service, you've seen our network. We're spanning around the world to be close also in case of problems, in case of maintenance, in case of support at the filling line. Next chart, please. That brings me to the product part and those previews. What will we show at Drinktec? And of course, everybody in Europe at least expects that tethered caps will be a major focus of this year's Drinktec. And I actually named that part tethered caps beyond sustainability. Next chart, please. What does that mean beyond sustainability? Originally, the idea, of course, is you all know that it was created and it was born by the idea of avoiding littering of closures and keeping the closure to the bottle and feeding it back into the recycling stream. But what we found over the years now of development is that it's also offering a shift towards a consumer convenience. And we see that in these three pictures here. On the one hand, we see a convenient pouring at home, if you wish. So it's no more caps on the floor. It's actually a hygienic aspect which is added to it. It's comfortable, on the go, again, one-hand opening, non-lost caps in this example, in the car, for example. And last but not least, of course, it's a conscious protection to the environment because we've got a joint collection of bottle and cap. Next chart, please. And let's look at this video to get a bit of an understanding. So our tethered cap solution clip aside, which is the name of that line, we actually chose as the most convincing design. Really will be a highlight of the show, and my colleagues and myself will be happy to show you more when you visit our booth. Maybe among all these features and advantages, I really want to highlight the last one here, which turned out really to be the major one, which is flexibility. And due to the slit technology or slitting technology, which we apply to actually slit the tethered band from the body. That allows us two things, or two ways of flexibility. One is flexibility during conversion. That means you can convert your lines without already converting the market or introducing into the market, because you can still produce a drop-down band based on the new shell design. Plus, also later, after your introduction, also for fillers, it will be interesting to have the flexibility to actually change between the two designs and the two geometries of the TE band by simply changing the slitting geometry, and the line does not need any further modification. Next chart, please. Also in the video, it was raised that we conducted a consumer study this year, understanding better how the new design is actually picked up by consumers, how fast will they actually change their habits of opening a cap. And the results were very promising and very positive, that the learning curve is very fast, and it was considered a real step forward, even compared to traditional or drop-down band closures. Next chart, please. And that's one highlight also maybe within the tethered cap section, which I wanted to give you a preview on today, when that actually hits the point of listening to customers, listening to consumers, and it's the action of solving potential consumer issues with tethered caps. And you see the issue here, especially for dairy products. This can happen once you shake the bottle with what consumers often do before drinking, shaking up the dairy or shaking up the milk drink. Some foam is produced in the cap. Next chart. What actually then happens is that foam collapses and it develops liquid drops on the inside of the closure. Quite many people on the go then directly drink from that bottle, and now the cap being attached to the bottle, that might release and let the liquid actually fall either on your face or on your clothes, and that's a real issue. Next chart, please. And we looked at that and actually came up with a nice solution. We call that the Bericap capillary ribs. That's actually, and you see it on the right hand side there, adding ribs and adding a frosted surface on the inside actually allows us to, if you wish, capture or catch the collapsing foam and the liquid on the insides, and avoiding this spoilage to your face and clothes. So also the capillary ribs will be presented in Munich, of course, and happy to show you more about this. Next chart, please. Lightweighting will be another focus story, and if you click through that chart, it will actually complete. And we see here this journey which Bericap has also pushed forward and developed over the last years, coming from PCO 1810 to PCO 1881, now to the 26 CSD GME 3040 design. And if you add another click, please. And this is not the end. So already with clip aside the tethered design, we achieved another reduction in weight, and we will continue to do so. And there also, this is just a sneak preview, more to explore in Munich. Next chart, please. What we also looked at over the last year, what we are happy to present in Munich, is an extension of our sports cup range. Next chart, please. You might be aware of our current program, which is actually presented by Thumbop and Crystal, the two models. And we will present in Munich 3 new products, Mayence, Biarritz, and Monet. to our sport cap range, and now really being in a position to show also from a design point of view, but also from a performance point of view, a really comprehensive range of sport closures. Next chart, please. Closer look to Biarritz. It's a one-piece closure. It will be available in HPE or PP. It has a visible bridge as a tamper evidence signal or feature, and the closure will be suitable for dry and wet aseptic application. Next chart, please. The Mayence is the second sport cap closure which will be added. It's actually a two-piece closure, as you see. The body is available in HDPE, lid in PP and HDPE, and the tamper evidence feature is the visible bridges of the opening tab or an opening tab. So you have either visible bridges or a separate opening tab, which is then a more visible and active feature to be integrated. And this closure will be suitable for dry aseptic application. And last but not least, it's our premium model called the Monet. It's a two-piece closure. It will be available in HDPE. It's a tamper evidence is a drop ring, which actually you see on the top model there, where you see the white ring separating from the top ring, and then being visible in those windows of the shelf, clearly showing tamper evidence has been broken up and this has been used before. For all those new models, we really looked at also the sustainability aspect to really offer models with ideally a single material being ready for recycling, making separation easy, making those really ready for recycling was one of the key features or key aspects to look into when developing those products. Next chart, please. And last but not least, this year's Drinktec will also be the first occasion, actually the first exhibit or the first show that we also integrate our aluminium range into a presentation on a show. And with the acquisition of Mala closure systems, we integrated or we acquired or extended our range significantly by a comprehensive aluminium range. And you see a selection here with a full assortment of decoration features like printing, foiling, embossment, various anti-counterfeiting technologies, especially relevant for higher value spirits, and any customized accessories which you would require. So we see ourselves here really in a position now also to present to the Drinktec audience a fully comprehensive and wide portfolio of plastic and aluminium solutions to any closure requirement. Next chart, please. And concluding, we will welcome you, and we're happy and enthusiastic, as I said before, to welcome you at our booth on number 375 in Hall C5. My colleagues and myself will be there, ready to show you more, explain you more, and understand your challenges, and actually be your companions through these challenging but also very exciting times. That was the last chart of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks. That was very interesting, and looks like you've got a pretty interesting stand coming up, and I think everybody's going to be at Drinktec will be very much looking forward to seeing it. Now, we are now pleased to have the company of Mr. Arnaud Nomblot. Monsieur Nomblot is the Director of Business Development Packaging with Sumitomo Demag. He joined Sumitomo in 2012, I am advised, after several years as export sales manager for a French mold maker. He and his team are in charge of business development in the packaging market, mainly in the fields of thin wall IML, caps and closures. And Arnaud, we are looking forward to your presentation, and I'll hand over to you.
Good good afternoon to everyone, and thank you very much for the introduction. I would also like to thank you, the magazine PETplanet, for giving us the opportunity to present during this webinar today. Today is for us the first time we will introduce a new machine model we will present at Drinktec within the next weeks. And before going into the details of this machine, I would like to give you first a quick overview about our company. So Sumitomo SHI Demag is part of the Sumitomo Heavy Industries, which is one of the biggest industrial company with their headquarters in Japan, employing approximately 25,000 people worldwide and active in 6 main fields of activities. One of them is the precision machinery for injection molding machines. And the philosophy of Sumitomo Heavy Industries is that all main components of our products have to be developed and produced in-house. So we have an extremely deep manufacturing excellence where we have all the technology in our own control. Sumitomo Demag is the brand name of the injection molding machines for Sumitomo Demag and represent approximately 12% of the group activities. We are producing injection molding machines since 70 years, employ approximately 3,000 people worldwide, and we manufacture every year around 7,000 machines within 4 production facilities, 1 in Japan, 2 in Germany, and 1 in China. We are present in all continents with more than 30 subsidiaries, and we are extremely proud to be the leader of the all-electric machinery worldwide with approximately 80,000 machines in operation, and we have delivered so far more than 149 injection molding machines. The main activity of Sumitomo Demag is packaging with approximately 23% of the machine delivered, and this is a clear focus and strategy of the company. And the other fields of activities are also automotive, electronics, consumer, and medical. Within packaging, what do we understand by packaging? This is, of course, caps and closures and beverage caps, like today, which is the focus today. Beverage caps represents 1/4 of our activity in the packaging industry, and we are also active in 2 key sectors, which are the thin wall in-mold labeling market and the industrial buckets market. So the base is our brand new model of injection molding machine, which will be introduced at Drinktec. And let's start with the beginning and the origin of this machine. Today, Sumitomo Demag is one of the world market leader of all electric machines, and these machines are known under the name of Intellect. And if we classify the market in terms of required production output and required filling requirements, then we can split the market with 2 machine categories. The first one is the Intellect, and the second one is the Alexis SP, 1 hybrid machine and 1 all-electric machine. The hybrid machines, our hybrid machines are the fastest machine on the market today. They are extremely proven and reliable. We are producing them for more than 20 years now. On the other hand, they start to get out-fashioned. Energy consumption needs to be improved, and the cleanliness of the machine is something where more and more customers are asking for. Looking at the side of the all-electric technology, energy consumption of these machines is extremely good. On the other hand, we got some limitation in very fast cycle times in terms of lifetime and capabilities, and we were also limited in the injection capacities. So the idea was to take both advantages and remove the limits of these two machines and create a new range which would combine the strengths of both existing products. And this is how the PACE came to the world. So this project was done using the all-electric competence from our factory in Japan, where we are producing most of the all-electric machines. Here we are producing as well our drives and controls, and we have the experience of close to 80,000 all-electric machines in the market. So this Japanese competence was used in order to convert existing machines into the all-electric, and we used as well the packaging competencies from our packaging center in Germany, where we are market leader in packaging, where we have a strong business development team focusing on this application like thin wall packaging, beverage caps, and industrial buckets, and with the experience of more than 3,000 machines delivered on the market today. Based on the synergies of both competence center, we created a unique product, the PACE, which will be globally available, produced as well in Germany or in Japan, which match the three requirements of the beverage caps market today. And these three requirements are the performance, production output, the low energy consumption, and the cleanliness. And how did we meet all the requirements? The first one is the performance. So we took all the mechanics from existing packaging products like the clamp and the platens, which are a critical part for the production of packaging parts. We kept the clamp performance and the mold opening and closing speed. So we do not make any compromise on that. We will have an extremely fast injection speed of 550 millimeter per second, high performance plasticizing drive in order to meet the production requirement of extremely short cycle time and high output in terms of kilogram per hour of plastics transformed. The plasticizing components like screws and barrel are taken from the existing packaging machines, so also proven components, and the rest of the machine like the ejector are also designed to match the application requirement like the high speed or high force. And we kept also all interfaces which are specifically designed for the application for production of packaging parts like water cooling requirements, IML requirements, and so on. The second requirement was the energy efficiency, and for the energy efficiency, all the drives in this machine are Sumitomo heavy industry drives. So these are motors and components which are designed in-house. So this is a unique feature of our brand. We are one of the only one making it. And all of these components and motors are designed and manufactured specifically to match with the requirements of the plastic processing for packaging. The third and last requirement is the cleanliness. So all the main axes like the mold opening and closing, the clamp drive, and the injection drive are completely encapsulated. We are making and using a closed loop lubrication, which will have two main effects. The first one, all the parts and the caps and packaging products will be produced in a completely clean environment. The efforts to clean the machine is significantly reduced, and due to the closed loop system, we will also reduce the use of lubricants, reducing the cost, the consumption, and therefore the cost of the machine operation. After a few years of development, now we are extremely proud to present this machine for the first time at Drinktec. And here is a quick quick movie of the mold, which is in operation. This will be the world premiere. We will be present in Hall 5, Hall C5, in the booth 319. And here we will present a best-in-class application, best-in-class in terms of productivity and production speed, where we will demonstrate a machine together with a mold and downstream line operating at extremely high performance, which we have never achieved yet. The energy efficiency of the whole system is also at the level which has not been achieved yet, and we will also be very proud to partner with best-in-class companies for the molds, which will be provided by z-moulds. The hot runner controller will be made by the company CIS from France, and mold dehumidification system, caps cooling from the company Iceberg. Downstream line, camera inspection and packing will be made by the company Intravis, and we have the raw material from the company Ineos, and the mold cooling and machine cooling supplied by the company Pure. So we look forward for successful meetings and interesting discussions during the fair. And we are all waiting for the next weeks for the first opening of the Drinktec. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thanks very much indeed, Arno. That was pretty interesting and a good insight into what Bericap has been up to the last few years, and the innovations, developments and product premieres that will be presented at Drinktec. And now I'm very pleased to welcome Michael Fink, Vice President of Sales and Marketing at z-moulds or z-moulds, the Australian closure and mold specialist. He is globally responsible for all sales activities and joined the company in 2005. Before his vice president role, he developed the closure business in emerging markets. And Michael is going to talk to us about challenges for closure production and the requirements for new mold solutions. Michael, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Thank you. So first of all, also thank you from my side for this opportunity to talk here, and thank you also, Ruari, for this introduction. So let me start with a very short and quick introduction. I will make this very quick because most of you may already know what we are doing. We are a tool maker from Austria, private owned, very flexible for any requests from our customers, and we always want to inspire with new innovations. Our physical local presence is meanwhile growing every year. Since this year we started also our subsidiary in the US. So as you can see, this is growing steadily. We are a cap specialist. We can assist our customers from the early development of new closure designs down the road through testing in our laboratory facilities until to a final approval by the customer. This is a view in our laboratory where you can see also a capping machine for laboratory usage is there. We are known for our mold technologies. We have several patents on molding techniques, and one of our most known is the so-called Z-slides. And today I want to start a little bit with the past, what we did on Z-slides, and then give an outlook on the future. Let's start with the system, like it is well proven now since 14 years in the market, the so-called Z-slides. I will jump rather quickly over that because most of you already know what this mold is doing. This mold technology is patented and has several advantages. Some of the most known I will just jump quickly over. like the flat parting line in the front of the cavities. Yeah, so this makes it unnecessary to center the cavities. That's a huge advantage in terms of wear. So the complete mold will only be centered through the guiding bars on the mold house, and therefore it's a nearly wear-free system on the cavity side. Beside that, the single cavities also allow a very, very easy use of the cavities and a high accessibility, because you can access each single individual cavity from the front. And also we use the same pitch size between each cavity for a full range of closures. The cavity itself works very easy. The entire movement is from the inside out, so there is no sideways movement required. Only the sliders move from the inside out, strip a sleeve, strip off the closure, and that's all. Next shot, back again. Only sliders move outside, strip a sleeve, strips off, that's it. So that's in a nutshell the Z-slides. Yeah. Beside the Z-slide system for this mold technology, we are able to change over all common closure designs in this mold. So it doesn't matter if you have a folded band closure that you later on fold and slit, like we just saw in the presentation from Bericap, or if you have a mold with sliders, like the Z-slides, for molded temporary evident band, or even for tether caps, where you want to have the entire shell of the cap in the sliders. All these technologies can be used in the same mold frames. So it's a very flexible system for later changes in the design. But now let's talk about what we will do next, or where we are already. What can we enhance for tomorrow? So first of all, I'm not sure if you ever thought about mold sizes. In general, the Z-slides are known for their very compact size, because of the small pitch we can achieve, because we don't need any sideways movement. So in comparison to the competition, our mold frame for a 96 cavity mold is already small. But what would be if in future the mold would be even smaller? More question, does size matters? I don't know. Let's take a look into two case studies to prove that. First of all, we have a project for a customer where we need to do a very high volume production. So the target is to run 128 cavity mold below 2 seconds. The problem nowadays is with existing mold technologies, 128 cavity molds are mainly very, very big. And because of they are big, they need big machines. But from the closure point of view, they would not need big machines, because a 420-ton machine would be enough from the clamping force side, but the mold itself is too big. So you see here the tie bars of a big machine where the existing 128 cavity molds can fit, and the red tie bars are of a 420-ton machine. So you see simply the existing mold technologies are too big. With our new design, the smaller mold, which has a pitch of 55 millimeters, we can fit into the 420-ton machine. And by only going into a smaller machine, we can achieve a big step in cycle time reduction, because of running now in a range where regular cap machines are able to run very fast dry cycles, while the bigger machines have longer cycles. So we can achieve already a savage of 0.4 to 0.6 seconds difference. Beside that, when we look on the weight side of these molds, also the existing mold has 4 ton, a little bit more than 4 ton on the ejection side, that's the moving half, while the new design has less than 2 tons. So we save about 52% weight, and that leads also to another cycle time reduction because of less weight we have to move. So we can accelerate and decelerate faster. Overall, the open and close time will be reduced by another 0.1 second. And when we look at the height of the mold, the actual height of these molds is around 1.3, 1.4 meters. So the cap falling height is round about 1.1 meter. The difference between falling from 1.1, 1.2 meters to around about 900 millimeters falling height is 27%. And these 300 millimeter less falling height is giving us another 7/100ths of a second in cycle time. So overall, we see that we can use with a smaller frame, smaller machine range, easier mold handling because of a smaller system, less cycle time because of the less weight, less cycle time because of the less height, and also overall less energy consumption, because everybody can imagine when you save 50% of the weight, it's a lot less energy you require to move the mold. So when we look in another case, we look on a regular 96 cavity molding system. All 96 cavity molds nowadays are mainly running in 420 ton machine. Some of them are already running on 320 down to 300 ton machines, but not lower. But some of the new caps require less clamping force. So in theory, you could also use a 250 ton machine. But once again, the problem is the size of the mold. So the size of the mold is simply too big to fit in such a small machine. When we go to our new pitch size, we can fit a 96 cavity mold in this kind of machine. And when we look at the numbers from our competition to our new pitch size, we reduce the falling time because of the less height by 0.117 seconds, and we reduce the open close time in total by 0.08 seconds. So once again, we have 0.2 of a second saving just because of the size and the weight. Same advantages as in the case before. Yeah, we have a smaller machine range, easier mold handling, less cycle time, and overall less energy consumption. So once again, does size matters? I would say yes, because overall, if we look at this case, yeah, from the competition sizes to our regular 70 millimeter pitched Z slides to our new standard for 26 millimeter and smaller caps with 55 millimeter pitch, we can save between 35 to 55 in weight and 25 to 45 in height. And as you just saw, both have big impacts on your cycle time and on your energy consumption. Thank you. If you want to see more about that, first of all, take the chance and visit the Sumitomo Demag booth, where Arnaud just explained that they will show a Z-slides mold. And secondly, I would also like to invite you to our booth, also in Hall 4, C5, booth 207, to discuss this in more detail. Thank you so much. And I hand back over to Ruari.
Thanks, Michael. That was pretty good. I mean, excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, I'll try not to start coughing too much. Now, apologies for the technical issues that you had during your presentation, but it was very well worth paying attention to. What I got from it is that your presentation embodied the idea of the accumulation of marginal gains that the UK cycling team deployed to such great effect in the Olympic Games, Tour de France and elsewhere. It was just tiny little gains that they were making that added up to a great deal. Now, as you say, each tiny reduction adds up to something very significant in energy usage, material consumption, and indeed cycle time. It's quite extraordinary what the gains that you were showing there. I was really impressed. I'll even have to think about it before I can comment on it coherently, I think. So thanks to all the presenters, to Petra and Alex, to Thomas Schmidt, to Arnaud Nomblo, and to Michael. And a very big thank you to our sponsors, to Bericap, to PackSys Global, Sacmi, StackTeck, and Sumitomo SHI Demag. Now, I'll share something with you. I've just received a press release while we've actually been on air, advising me that Forbes magazine says that food and beverage is among the world's top 12 industries as far as having millennial billionaires goes. It stands in 8th position with 4 of them. Their combined worth amounts to $18.4 billion, which should come in handy for paying this winter's energy bill. I don't know if any of them will actually be at Drinktec, but if you notice somebody splashing around with buying drinks, then maybe it's them. Now, we had approaching 150 registrations and around 70 attendees during the session. I would like to say that we've had a number of questions submitted, but actually we've had none, which is quite extraordinary. I hope that everybody is saving them for, has been making notes and has been saving them for visiting Drinktec themselves. It's probably really just as well because time has been very, very compressed and we've actually overrun already by about 3 minutes. So I would like now to thank all of you for your attendance. I hope that you all gained something. If there is anything that you wanted to add, then by all means either email us or send it via chat, and I might see some of you tomorrow with the second of these 2 PETinars. Until then, until Drinktec, and until we meet again, I will now say goodbye. Thank you very much indeed.